What's up, my arch fiends of chaos? Your king and not Vincent Valentine EX Turk with another video before I have to go to bed. I'm trying to go to bed at a decent hour, but you know, I got caught up in watching people's YouTube stuff and then got caught up in playing more Injustice rounds. I was like, this is why I can't be down here for long periods of time, because I'd be tempted to play more games. I've been playing some rounds of Injustice, and you know, you could see some of the fights I've already put up on YouTube right now. But anyways, besides all that, we're gonna have one more Final Fantasy video before I have to go to bed. And this is all the stuff, the events that will happen in episode Ignis. Well, at least the pre-episode Ignis that has happened during the time. Because episode Ignis is actually during Alticia, because you do get split up with the group. As Gladiolus and Ignis will actually evacuate most of the people. In fact, that's what their jobs were to do, was evacuate the people, while Noctis took on the Hydrian. You know, and Prompto is supposed to save Noctis. You know, when Noctis leaps around, when Noctis leaps off that one plank, which means that it would happen during the time. Probably at this point, Noctis will be talking to Camellia, or what I like to call the Final Fantasy Hillary Clinton character, because she looks like Hillary Clinton. So yeah, before Ariana Grande, Hillary Clinton was the first Final Fantasy celebrity to become a Final Fantasy character. It you know. But anyways, with jokes and memes aside, you know, you know, at this point when Noctis is talking to Camellia, you notice that Gladiolus, Ignis, and Prompto isn't there with them, because they're actually evacuating the civilians right now, getting prepared for the biggest battle between the Hydrian, you know, beforehand. So this would be possible where episode Ignis can take place. Now Gladiolus will get separated from Ignis during this time, because the Hydrian arc was actually a pretty long arc. I know it doesn't sound like it's long, even if you didn't do the extensional side quest, but it was actually a long arc, because the whole discussion, you know, between Camellia and Noctis, as well as the fact as there's factors into this too, like the real story. You were supposed to go spend a night in a hotel, get experience after you're talking to Gentiana, then go talk to Camellia. But I'm pretty sure since the game cut out some stuff, and we got to see some stuff that, you know, that was in the trailer before it released, even, you know, before it was cut out, and this was under Tabitha's jurisdiction, we did get to see more of Alticia. I think it could be possible that Verstale has paid a visit to Alticia, and the reason why you never kill him off in Alticia is because they saved him for episode Prompto, so they didn't put him in the game except for that one meeting with the Niflheim Empire. But I think maybe episode Ignis, since episode Prompto is over, and we already finished the whole story. We already finished the whole story arc of Chief Scientist Verstale Bethisia. I think it's possible that maybe Verstale might get teased in this. We're looking at a possible 3-hour DLC. This is not going to be like episode Gladiolus and episode Prompto, where it's just 1 hour apiece, unless you include the mini games in each DLC care package, because that's what I like to call it. We're probably going to be able to see Verstale, since he's already... Now, he ain't going to get beat, of course, because episode Prompto's way after, but, you know, I'm pretty sure Gladiolus and Ignis are going to knock back Verstale's army. Verstale's going to get... You know, you know, first of all, Verstale's going to see his son and notice his son. That's how he knows his son is still alive. But, you know, his army's going to get knocked back. And what's going to happen when his army gets knocked back by Ignis and Gladiolus by themselves, he'll get overwhelmed and retreat back to Graulia. Then the rest of the events could happen. Now, some of the soldiers will still stay because Arden is there. Now, if it's possible, if Arden has his personal Magitech factory in Alticia, because he looks like he'd probably live in Alticia while Idolus is in Grallia, and Verstale is in the outskirts of Grallia, I think it's possible that Arden would want to be somewhere else because, well, you know, him and Idolus butt heads a lot, so he wouldn't want to be in with Idolus all the time. That's why you don't see Idolus and Arden together in the game, unlike King's Glaive, because I think after King's Glaive, Arden has fell out with the Emperor, so, but still has him on his team. So I think it's possible that maybe during the evacuation of the Hydrian arc of Final Fantasy 15, it could be possible that maybe there's a small Magitech factory on the other side that belonged to Arden, because if you notice, there's, you know, all the other lands are destroyed in the actual, you know, in the trailer, and in the trailer shows you know, Ignis with a bunch of Magitech soldiers gunning Ignis down, you know, gunning Ignis down. But you see that there's one island that has not been touched. Maybe there's a further down island in Alticia that's Niflheim territory. Because remember, Niflheim has control over Alticia. Who's not to say that Idolus did not command people in Alticia to build a private Magitech factory for Arden? And maybe when you're Ignis, you stumble onto the truth and everything. And then Arden gets freaked out. Now, before Arden goes to kill Luna Freya, which happens, you know, before that happens, while Luna Freya is talking to the Hydrian, you know, while that's still going on, you know, Arden knows that Ignis has been snooping around the whole entire Magitech factory, you know, finding out the truth, and then Ignis is the first one to discover that Arden's actually a villain. Well, he knew he was a villain, but I'm just saying he discovers that everything that happened with Niflheim and everything was his fault. And this could probably put clues to Izunia. And then Arden will come in like, ooh, I don't like people who snooping around. That's a very bad thing to snoop around, you know. We have to take care of this. I can't let Noctis know my plans before I use them. That's not going to be really good. I'm sorry, but that's a terrible Arden. I'm a terrible voice actor. But no, that's probably what's going to happen. Then, you know, Ignis is going to get into a battle. You don't see Gladiolus in the trailer at all. Which, if he's in there, they'll probably show him the full trailer. That was just a teaser. But for argument's sake, let's just go ahead and say that Gladiolus has not caught up to Ignis yet. Ignis is going to get in a fight with Magitech armor with using just his magic, his lances, and his knives. Now, he might be able to beat regular Magitech soldiers, but then he'll fight Arden. And like I said in episode Ignis, Arden is the main villain in episode Ignis because it's the last episode. Until, like, unless they make a secret episode Noctis, but, you know, let's just say they don't do that. Let's just say we don't get to see what happens with Noctis in the 10 years. Let's just say Square Enix has no interest in doing that. So, pretty much, it's safe to say that Arden's going to be the main villain for episode Ignis. Of course, Ignis is going to lose. You're going to do your best to beat him, then you'll find out that Arden is more than what he is. That he is a cursed immortal, you know, and he has the scourge within him. And then Arden will get mad that he was able to scratch him a little bit because, remember, Ignis is, you know, just like Prompto, except Prompto's actually really strong because Prompto's half MT, and that's, you know, abilities that Prompto has not shown Noctis on the fact that he's afraid of Noctis not wanting him to be around anymore. You know, but I think what's gonna really happen in this is that you know, Arden's gonna get frustrated that he's got scratched by a guy who's weaker than Prompto. No offense to Ignis fangirls, but Ignis is not a strong fighter. This will embarrass Arden, and Arden would get so mad he will pull out all the stumps. He probably won't pull out the red royal arms, but he will probably fight seriously and mess up Ignis. Ignis will lose his step, and he will lose stamina and everything, and then all the Magitech soldiers would have the gun to Ignis's head, and then Arden will say in the lines of like, "You know too much. That's not going to be very good right now. I still need to use Noctis in order for him to be the Ascended King. I can't have you do that." And then he will proceed to do an attack that blinds Ignis, which will be good because this will also give Ignis a reason to have a grudge against Arden, because Arden is the one who blinded him. Because, I mean, everybody else has a grudge against Arden for different things. Noctis's grudge against Arden is because he kills Lunafreya right in front of him. You know, Prompto has a grudge against Arden because Arden pretty much introduced him to the piece of shit of a father figure he had. And Gladiolus has a revenge against Arden because Arden allowed, Ravus to humiliate him. And as well as their families have been killed by their empire, by Arden's empire. So they all don't like. Nobody like Arden is pretty much hated by the bros for different reasons. But this will give a special reason and a plot point to the real reason why Ignis hates Arden. And maybe it's not because he was blind. Maybe Ignis gets some of his memories back and finds out maybe Arden kills his parents or someone he cares about, and Regis is the one who had to save Ignis. And that explains why you see that angry look in Ignis's face, like he's gonna do something, like he's gonna fuck Arden shit up. But pretty much, these are, and at this point, I'm pretty sure at this point when you see Ignis on the ground, Noctis is fighting the Hydrian to gain the Hydrian's powers. So it's still kind of rainy because it's still on the other side of Alticia that didn't get hit. But that's what I think. This is the pre-story before episode Ignis discussion. So may the crystal be with you. If you want to add anything or speculate or anything like that, leave it down in the comments below. And also hit that like button. That would help me a lot because YouTube's messed up system. Don't forget to also hit that notification bell because I'm going to need all the support I could possibly get. May the crystal be